In the ashes of the end rises the Doomsday Queen.
Hi, welcome in everybody. Today we have Sweet Em Acreage on here. She's actually a TikToker that is actually transferring over, and she currently just bought her homestead and she is building it up from the scratch the same way we are building up the property. And so I hope you guys really enjoy. We're just going to be chit-chatting back and forth, but if you have questions for her, please drop them down below. Welcome in, Marianne, Jessica. All right, Sweet Em, how excited are you for your new farm?
Oh, I am just so thrilled. I can't attain the excitement. I'm out there every day trying to do something.
Every
It just
single
is
day? New
every
animals,
single day.
right?
Yes, I have chickens and I have meat rabbits. Come April, when this hawk has her babies, we'll either have 8 to 10 piglets. We're going to raise those up and hopefully make a little bit of profit off of that and keep some for us and family.
Perfect.
And ideally, hopefully, when the market gets better, I would love to get a bottle calf.
Yes. Well, and especially right now, the cost of meat in the grocery stores is astronomical. Astronomical.
Oh,
Meat rabbits is one of the ways to go, you guys. It is something that I have been looking into. I know she is doing it. We both are starting from scratch right now. She's at least got a structure on her farm, which I'm very jealous of. What is what you just found inside the barn? Didn't you just find cement in your barn?
yes, it is on a concrete pad. So that's the biggest blessing. Unfortunately, I have 2 feet of dirt to dig out of it, but that's okay. It's okay. We're going to get the dirt out and see if the concrete pad's good. And if it is, we're going to start putting new footers on the bottom of it, and we're going to repair what we can.
Yeah. I mean, and that is a big thing is so I just found a structure I want to build, which is a pole barn. And I've been watching this other YouTuber and how he did it, and then he poured concrete after, and that was such a feat for him because he was like, "Yes, now we have a flooring. Like we have something that keeps them a little bit warmer, and then we can bring stuff in." And so I'm excited to do that, but I'm excited that you found that, and then you guys are getting very creative. This morning I was in your live stream over on TikTok. She is making the journey over here to YouTube. So I do have her handle linked down below in the description. If you guys do want to give her a follow, she is building it up from like from the floor up on everything she's doing. And we were talking about the financial part of homesteading that people don't talk about. Dumpster diving, finding wood on the side of the road, those kind of things. Are these things that you like to do?
I mean, at first I was like, oh gosh, everybody's looking at me and then after a while, was telling people this morning, you got to get uncomfortable. If you sit in comfort, you're not going to be creative and you're not going to branch out and do these things. And, you know, I'm hungry, y'all. I have this dream and I want to make it work, and every penny counts. And when you can find somebody's, trash, it becomes your treasure. So that
It
was my
does.
thing. Got curious. I went to Menards and it was in the trash. Why not, And it
Do it.
just kind of started off from there,
I was going to, the stores after the holidays, their pallets, and we started
Yes.
gathering pallets, and so we have so many pallets at the property right now, and I'm like, "Okay, can I build an outdoor shower with this? Can I use this? Like, what can I structurally use this for?" Because building something from scratch is expensive. People do not realize, like, the cost to feed nowadays is through the roof, and we are living in a recession, a very, very heavy recession right now. Do you feel like you love what you do? I know you grow your own food. I know you can your own food. You bake, you do all these things. Does it save money? Because everybody always tries to say canning and those kind of things, they don't save money.
You're going to have a startup cost. I'll be honest. Everybody gets a
Mhm.
startup cost. There's always going to be that startup cost. But you can get clever how you go about those startup costs. You can go to estate sales, where people put up their homes and everything in it. You can find gold mines in there, mason jars, old canners, water bathers. I mean, there's ways to go by it. Marketplace is another thing where I find a lot of my stuff. Just reaching out in your local
Mhm.
community, your food banks, and just, put a word of mouth, post something at a gas station. Somebody's going to read it. I mean, it's just like I said earlier, you got to get uncomfortable and put yourself out there, knock on doors, and, people are willing. If they're not, the worst thing what they're going to do is tell you no.
Yep.
And, you gave it a try.
Didn't your neighbor just give you like an amazing gift too?
Yes, yes. We spent $40 on not pallets, but the red gates for the fencing,
Yeah.
and they were all bent and broken. Some of them just needed welded back and straightened out, and that's what we did. We took a bobcat, put the forks on it, flattened them out, welded on the parts that needed fixed, and it's perfect. It's because that's going to be my paneling for my hogs, and we're going to put hog paneling on it. And when they get
Mhm.
up to 300, 350, 400, pushing on that, they're not going to break it. It's
Yep.
going to be a sturdy structure.
A nice
So
sturdy
like I
structure
said,
for your hogs. And you just
yep.
moved out of not a city, but out of town,
Yep,
right?
I did all this beforehand. The chickens, the meat
Mhm.
birds, my rabbits. I did it all in city limits. There's different regulations and codes. Obviously, you all know that. But the one thing I found out is that most places don't have regulations on rabbits. So you can
Yep.
do it in apartments. You can do it in your house. The ones. Be clever. Read reading is your knowledge. Like, it's going to be your best friend. Read your
Yep.
codes, find the regulations. People aren't going to spoon feed you this. So if you really want to do it, you have to do your research and reach out and, put
Yep.
yourself out there and find out.
Yep. And it's a hard one is getting uncomfortable with the uncomfortable. I think this week alone, I was kicked out of like 3 Facebook groups in the town area that my property's at because it says I live in a different area. So they were like, "Boot her, get her out." And I'm in there like a gremlin, like, "You got some wood paneling? Would you take 20 bucks? I'll take that. I'll take that. I
Mhm.
take that. You wanna do a pickup on Saturday?" Like, in there like a gremlin, and all of a sudden I have no access, and so one of our friends that lives in town was, like, vouching for me. They're like, "No, she's moving here. Like, let her in." And I'm, like, searching for, a beat down truck right now just to be able to haul water onto the property, uh, for, like, less than 3 grand, and I have been just constantly like, "Does it run? It doesn't need to be new. How many miles? 280,000? That's fine. I can make this work. I can
Yep.
fix
Oh,
that,
you need a new carburetor. That's an easy fix, something easy, It doesn't have to be fancy to make it things work. And that's like my motto around here. We reuse, we repurpose, and we try to get crafty around here. I'm not a Better Homes and Garden. You're gonna look at my property and be like, oh, she made a trellis, or my compost bin is made from a bunch of sticks weaved together. I mean, we get
Mhm.
creative around here. Um, Fancy is
Creative
not
with
always
free, free,
best.
free. Creative with
Yes,
the free,
yes,
free,
yes.
free. Like,
Being
I don't
frugal,
I don't wanna see a homestead that's built with millions of dollars. I wanna see somebody building from the ground up to have
Yeah.
the realistic of, "This is how much it costs. This is what it's costing us to get where we need to be." And people don't realize that is, let's stop over romanticizing somebody taking millions of dollars in loans to start a homestead, and let's romanticize the journey, the hard parts. The You said earlier you were a little bit worried, about your rabbits, and one of our rabbits is pulling out its fur, and it's due to have some babies, and we have to stop romanticizing it. Welcome in, Pastor of Reality, and Abraham and Susan. You guys are amazing. Hello, Denise. Do you guys have any questions for Emily in the chat? You guys can ask questions. We are live right now, so uh we love good questions. Really good questions. She's also a mom.
Yeah.
She's doing this. Inner
And mom,
time.
I homeschool. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. Um, it's really important if you have the opportunity, get your kids engaged with it. That's my personal opinion. That's the best thing that you could ever do with them is
Mhm.
to give them the skills to survive because we don't know where life's going to be in 50 years. We don't. And if basic survival skills and learning how to preserve and grow is, it's important. I mean, the greatest weapon is food, in my opinion.
Yep.
And I'll be darned if somebody takes that away from me.
Right? And food is gonna be currency. With the way the economy is, who in here, when you go into the grocery store, does it hit your gut? Because it hits my gut.
Oh yeah, I mean, my husband works 2 full-time jobs so I can stay home and do this. And that's just keeping, the lights on, food on the table. And I mean, it's a struggle. And I'm in Nebraska, like our prices compared to the city life, like we wouldn't survive. There's no way. I don't know how you
Mhm.
guys do it. I really don't.
Have you
It's hard.
started any of your seeds indoors yet?
Yes.
I am
I
starting today.
So I'm in 5B, 6A zone. I have my onions going, loofahs, pumpkins like a long season. So does watermelon and cantaloupe. Highly recommend getting your herbs going. Flowers, those pollinators are so important, especially right in the beginning. If you have those already established, they're already going to be in that environment right when you put your plants out. And that's what we want to encourage.
Mhm.
And then here in a couple weeks, we'll be starting peppers and tomatoes and all that good stuff.
So here I start my peppers really early because in Utah, we're our higher elevation, we have sometimes cold nights and then we get super hot. Like we're in the desert, it gets hot in the
Mhm.
summer. But it takes them a while to get to maturity. And so once we can get them flowering indoors, I pick off those buds and then I progress on to the next one before we go out, which is nice. But peppers are one of my first ones I always start so that they can get a little bit more mature.
I got the jalapenos. I do that with my hot peppers is because I like those to be done around the same time as my green bells. But like it's different zones and all that is, it's a game changer too when you learn about different growings. You
Both of you
both.
guys have so much to do with all the animals and kids and canning. I love like Sweetest Em and I have been friends for a while now. Like she is absolutely amazing. I always point over here because she's over here on the screen for me, but I gotta remember I gotta point to the opposite side. Um,
Well,
but
high
she is
five.
absolutely, yeah, we'll just oh wait, I'm doing it wrong again.
Am I
um,
right?
I think you're doing it right. I'm doing it wrong. But we've been friends for a long time, and it was really fun to find a friend who does a lot of the same things, aspires to the same things, and is starting new, right? It's not something that's been established for us. Yes, we do it when we live in town, but now we're all moving our way out. And so it's going to show the good, the hard, those triumphs, those successes, those downfalls, because everything starts from the beginning. AudieQ, I want to say a big thank you. Thank you so much for the very generous gift. That was very, very, very kind of you. I thank you so much. That is amazing. Um, yeah, M is amazing. Yes, let's not. Susan's up here, hyping up Miss M.
Let's
She is amazing,
go.
you guys. She is building on YouTube right now, and I just told her I was like, you need to come over because I think YouTube has gotten tired of the same old that's already put together, right? We want to see the mistake. That's what I want to see. When I'm watching a channel, I want to see you build it from the ground up. I don't want
Yeah.
to see it just developed overnight. I want to see the hard parts, the failures. Last year, I think you remember, I was growing artichokes. Never grown an artichoke in my life. I was like, this one's going to die. I They lived till December.
Oh,
Like it was
gosh.
like Jurassic Park in like 20-degree weather, just huge. And I was like, how did I grow
How's
that?
it
Like it shouldn't be
going?
alive. It should not be alive. It should have died.
Oh, I love it.
Country Trumpkin says rabbit poop makes excellent fertilizer. It does.
Yes. So
Duck
that's
poop,
another thing.
rabbits.
That's another thing on here. You really want to, we all love those cute little animals. And when you want to get on your homestead, it's really important, super, super important, just financially and everything, that you have a double stack with what you put on. So what I mean by that is that my rabbits, I have their fur, I have their meat, I have their fertilizer, and I have their babies. There's 4 ways to make a profit off of those rabbits, you see? So you want, and you'll be surprised what people will pay for a bag of rabbit poop. You will be,
Interesting.
yeah, you'll be surprised. And the cool thing about rabbit poop is it's a cold fertilizer, so it's not going to burn your plants, and it has all the nitrogen and all
And it breaks
that
down very
goodness.
easily. Same with
It's
ducks.
wonderful. Yes,
Ducks, you can
ducks are
literally,
like superior.
I pour their little pond. I have like a, like when you go to like the circus or like a fair and you get to scoop the little mini ducks out of it. I have
Yeah,
them a
yeah.
miniature pond right now because they're big ponds. I can't fill up that much water during the winter because our pipes are
Mm-hmm.
frozen. So they have this little one where I carry out these jugs of water and refill their thing up. Well, I just take that pool, I drag it out and I dump it into my garden so that now I know that my soil is good. We're going to be great. Everything's fertilized. We're ready for the next season. Billy D
Yeah,
said something. You know Billy D. He's been with me for a long
yes,
time on here.
sir.
But he said on a few occasions he has witnessed people in tears in the grocery store in their basket putting things back. So I help them shop more frugally. This is where what we both do is so critical. Growing your own food, really stepping out of your comfort zone. It's only going to get worse. I don't see prices coming down. Do you see prices coming down?
Nope. I'm going to be honest. I'm one of those people. Sometimes going to the grocery store sends me in a huge panic attack because is it going to get decline? Is this going to work? Like, it's a panic. I absolutely despise going to the stores. It's,
We spend so much
couponing and,
money.
and the food that you get from there, it's not even the quality they say it is. And that was, the really big game changer. They say it's a free market out there, but I feel like it's so controlled. And I mean, you see it with the cattle market, you see it with the pig market, the consumerism. I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's sad
It is.
too. And I know out front it's a bigger cost, but I highly, highly recommend farm to table. Reach out to those local groups. In the long run, you are saving more money that way. We're getting a half of a pig. That is saving us $350 in meat wise instead of going to the grocery store and getting it individually. And then not even that, you can take that beef, you can ask them for the bones, you can ask them for that fat, you can make your own tallow, you got your cooking oil, you got skincare products there, you can make candles. I mean, soaps. There's so many things that you can take control of, and it's super easy to do. And it's just a little bit of reading and hanging out with us, and we'll teach you how to do it.
Yeah, we just like to hang out. I know. I go in hers when she's baking. I'm like, "What you doing?" She comes in and I'm canning, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" It petrifies me. So I went out to the property with my son for his birthday. He wanted to be out he wanted to go camping. It's off grid. Why not?
Who doesn't?
Went and bought ground beef at the store, and the gut feeling, like, here's the thing we need to understand. Ground beef is a luxury right now unless you're buying it from a farmer. Can we all agree with that in the chat? It is a luxury item. Go
Yep.
without buying ground beef for 6 months and buy from a farmer. You will save more money than you can expect or even imagine. Go to cheaper cuts of meat. Get yourself a hog. Get half of a pig. Get some chicken.
And split it with a friend, split it with a family. You have no idea how much, 3 people going in and getting a quarter each will do. I mean, and then once you do that, I'm like, man, this tastes so much better than that stuff. And I feel so much better than that stuff. It's not sitting on a shelf for 6 to 8 weeks. It's not processed with gases. It's, and these farmers, I mean, we're being honest, it's night and day. It was negative 40 degrees here in central Nebraska because of the wind chill. And I have to go out there 5 o'clock in the morning, break out water. I'm feeding, I'm watering, I'm making sure they get extra protein. I mean, we, like I said, we pour our heart into that, and we would rather it go to you than the grocery store.
Exactly. And you had commenters, like people came in from TikTok on live stream, naive, and they're like, "Why are you going out?" Because they live, the animals only live because we are there. Like that is
Mhm.
it. My chickens would die, my ducks would die without me out there every day inspecting and checking on them. I don't go on vacations because it's hard to find somebody who will show up and double check my animals because they don't realize that resource is so important to us.
Yeah.
Somebody
It's not a pet, it's lifestyle. It's, it's not a hobby.
Mhm.
It's they're my babies too. Every bit of this is my baby.
And you bleed it. You breathe it and bleed it every day. Jeff said, "How many people's gardens are going to be bigger this year on Canada's prices in grocery stores?" Mine, I plan on doubling. Like I am creating out at the property right now because we're not full-time out there. I'm calling it the neglect garden, which I'm sure Emily understands what that means. Is it's a garden that's not being manicured, not being taken care of. It is just there to see if it survives with a drip line and a gravity fed. That is it. Like I will not be babysitting it. My garden here, of course, I'm going to babysit, but it's still going to be way bigger.
Yep. I mean, people complicated a garden too much. This stuff exists before us. Um, you give it water, you give it sunlight, it will grow. I mean,
Yeah.
40 grams of
Crib
beef.
said 400 grams of beef is $9, which is not even half a kilo. I'm not good at the metric system, but I will get to there. I promise. I promise, Priv.
I'm not either. I'm dyslexic.
Duck Rooster says they're going to have a bigger garden. Country Trumpkin says we're going to do a bigger garden this year. Big Head Empire says that they're going to be doing a bigger one here.
Yeah, and guys, playing with dirt is so awesome. Did you know a handful of dirt has more living organism than what it is on Earth, more than what people are on Earth? You pick up that pile of dirt, there's more living organisms in that dirt than people on Earth. Isn't that cool? I think that's amazing. And I mean, the joy that you're gonna get and the vitamin D, it's proven that it makes you happy. It makes you happier. It does.
Yep. I have already my binder out. I have it right behind me. But do you remember when I did this on TikTok and it went crazy viral, like millions?
With your seed bank?
My seed bit this guy. You remember this?
Yes,
I'm like,
yes.
people are like, what are you growing this year? And I'm like, you don't even want to know, guys. You don't even want to know. And people
And
keep
see,
going. They go, is this
she's
all?
more organized than I am. It's just utter chaos and hope over here.
Don't look at the rest of this room. It gets a little chaotic in here. But people were asking, they were like, do you only do this for doomsday? And I was like, didn't we just have like one of our biggest, most historical winter storms yet? And people still can't realize like you're in an economic recession. You're already like people are frothing at their mouth. Like I post those, let's go prepping at Walmart. Let's go prepping at the Dollar Tree. Somebody's like, those aren't the prices that are today. It's not my fault if you don't prep. That's not my fault, right? It's not your fault.
Yep.
They can't be mad at you
Mhm.
because you get meat rabbits because you see the true cost of what. And rabbit is extremely lean, you guys. Very, very lean, and it reproduces very quickly. So you have a sustainable life that you can have meat on a regular basis. And rabbit tastes good. Stop being snooty.
Yes, soak it in some buttermilk. Come on.
Ooh, Bear Truth wants to know how many people are raising animals that they would not normally raise. I have ducks. Ducks is a new one. Duck eggs have extremely high protein and their fertilizer is amazing. And I definitely would not change it, even though it's brought a lot of heat to us where our neighbors are extremely pissed and we have to move quicker than expected.
We're gonna try guineas this year, and people are looking at me like, "What?" But they're a dark meat. They're a bigger bird, and I just want to give it a try. And if we like it, we like it, and if we don't, we don't. I mean, I don't see the harm of, and they're great for tick population. They keep that down, mosquitoes, and they're great to alert for predators. They're amazing. So I'm gonna give that
They're
a whirl.
quick. They are
Yeah.
very, very quick. I want to do rabbits, but I can't do the dispatch part. Oh, that's the hard part. So you can do the dispatch part. I know that it seems very intimidating. Even my son was very nervous when we were dispatching the turkey, right? He thought he could do it. Then he was like, I don't know. The part we have to understand is every time you go into the grocery store, and I hope this gives you motivation and it doesn't feel like I'm speaking down. When you go into the grocery store, I want you to look at the meat department and know, and I'm not trying to encourage you to become a vegetarian by any means, but the way that they are overfed, overgrained, shoved through a line, the way that they are slaughtered, they do not have one peaceful moment in their life. Those rabbits have lived nothing but a peaceful life. They have never had any bad moments until that exact moment. That's the only bad moment that that animal has ever had. It's the same with the way when I dispatch or if I'm hunting, I know that those animals have had a really good life, and it allows me to have this connection, and I'm sure M probably feels the same way, is you don't waste the meat when you know you've had to dispatch it yourself. You're not going to waste it. You are not going to just throw the bones away. My son helps me process venison, and he knows like he'll take out, some of the bones out to the chickens and stuff like that. At first, he was nervous the first time he ever saw one. And he was like, "What are we doing?" And then, I was skinning it and I was helping, quarter it out and then putting it into coolers. And I had him stand by me and I said, "This animal died so that we can eat. We don't throw it away." And teaching your children and teaching yourself to have that respect for the circle of life will allow you to upstep your prepping game.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
and
by
not
way,
even that, like you got to think of it too. Like that's the big thing with me. The rabbits serve more than one purpose. We got the meat, we got the skin, we're turning the fur into blankets and stuff like that. Slippers. I mean, you can make cute hats, gloves. And then on top of it, you have this great appreciation for, what was given to you, not to get biblical or anything, but God says you take care of the animals and I'll feed you and I'll bless you. And
Mhm.
it does. It's this gratitude and respect that you can't gain from going to the grocery store. You can't
No,
get,
you
no.
can't. You can't gain that. And even I noticed my kids, like when they would waste meat, it it would upset me. And they were like, "Well, you can just go to the store." And I was like, "Oh, we're gonna change those lessons very quickly."
Yeah.
Very, very quickly. And as somebody who grew up very, very poor, meat is a luxury. Everyone shouldn't be going into debt. You shouldn't be putting your groceries on credit cards. And I know that that's become very common nowadays. We need to live within our means. There is nothing wrong with eating rice and beans. There is nothing wrong with building a stockpile with little small things. Just buy one for now, two for later. Only the food you eat. Eat from your preps, replenish them.
Yeah, learn a new skill. Say you don't hunt, take hunter safety, and go out there. There's tour guides and all that stuff. And I know that costs money, but somebody knows somebody that somebody knows, and
Mhm.
there's ways. And, like I said, it's going to teach you to respect that animal. It's going to expand your knowledge. Fishing, there's ways to bring in something else that you're not spending money on.
Yep. Somebody said, Nomad said, laying heads are a great way to provide food without the slaughtering part. Yep, that's a great
Yep.
introduction, but you're gonna end up sooner or later with a hen that might be a little aggressive or a rooster, and you might have to dispatch it at some point. I've had the same
And
thing.
And not even that, they only lay for so long. Just like
Mhm.
every woman, our cycles are the same. We stop at some
Yep.
point. And are you going to keep around a chicken that's not laying eggs anymore? Or are you going to provide dinner for your family with that chicken and repurpose it in a different way? Or are you going to let it take money from you? It's
Mhm.
just, like I said, there's big decisions to come with homesteading and building this life. It's not going to be easy. It's going to weigh on your heart, but at the end of the day, I will tell you, I am blessed and I'm very, very grateful that I took these steps to become, what I am today. It's helped me grow as an individual. It's given me a whole different perspective of life and it's humbling. It's very humbling.
Mhm. Let's see. Life with Denise says, I have a small backyard, but I'm determined to learn how to grow more vegetables. Get Do it. You can do it. I'm telling you, you could do it. You can do it. Some rosemary in a pot. You can even do little chives in it. You can do it.
Companion planting is going to be your best friend.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the basil I grew last year where it was like this big? Like there was so much basil going on. I plant basil under every one of my tomato plants. Some will die. And as gardeners, we are serial killers of plants. There's going to be a lot that die. Like we will slaughter them. But
Yep.
then we'll die again. And I've realized that if I make a cupping C around my tomato plants, that my basil will grow up really big and then my romas will get really big. And so they companion plant really, really well. And what's something that you companion plant with as I point to the air?
I love to, so the three sisters, I don't know if you guys heard about that, but the corn, the squash, and the peas and stuff like that. Those have been super helpful, especially being in a really tight space. I used to do that. I lived in town before I came out here, and that helped me so much. And my apple trees, I don't remember the names off of my head, but on my page I have it located. But your borage and your dill and all that, like underneath your trees, that's one way to companion plant too, and it's going to provide nitrogen to your tree.
Denise says, I bought potato starts at Home Depot. Any tips on growing potatoes? So layering, I do mine in grow bags, like large grow bags, and I layer like straw, dirt, mulch, straw, and then I have potatoes throughout. They're gonna up and flop over, but you can use like broken down laundry baskets. You can use all kinds of different things. You don't have to heavily water. Just make sure that they get water. You don't want them to become, what is the word I'm looking for? Because it's a root. You don't want it to become like moldy.
Root rot.
Yeah, root rot. Thank you. I was like, you want it to have some sort of flow so that the water doesn't get compacted in where your little spuds are. But at the same time, it will tell you when it needs water. Like the leaves will wilt a little, like they'll tell you when they're hungry.
Or you can get clever too and say that, somebody's dog cage is out, like they're getting rid of it. Take the dog cage, tie strap it together, dirt, straw, dirt, straw, dirt, straw. That's another way. And then you're not spending, money on grow bags either. Or reuse your feed bags, your dog bags, stuff like that. You could do that as well.
Yep. What Mrs. V said, companion planting help cuts the cost of fertilizer. I agree. 100%.
Yep.
You're
Hands down.
allowing it. Yep. Chrissy just came in. She's like, the ecosystem for your trees.
Yes.
Plants are dramatic. That's what we're looking at is like, because we're starting from scratch over there. And she was like, texting me. She's like, you need to add some comfrey to it. And I was like, okay, all right. Is it going to do a well with the wind? And she's like, it's got a deep root system. I'm like, let's do this. Like, let's add in more so that it can thrive better.
My big thing is regenerative farming. I want everything to be married together, not working against, but working together. I mean, the end goal is the same. We all want it to produce and thrive, and companion planting is going to save you money, and it's going to benefit everything, keep pests down and all that good stuff. I highly recommend looking into that and what looks good with another. If I don't have a book in front of me, I could tell you it all, but I don't have it off the top of my head.
You're totally good. We're going to take a little break, you guys, so that she can help her kiddos. And I'm going to take a second to blow my nose for a minute. So I'm going to mute us, but we will be right back in 15 seconds. I'm going to wait for her to come right back because she has kids. So, we're going to be going back and forth with parenting. And that is a total normal part of our life, is making sure that we're able to help our kids and do exactly what we need to do on top of creating. What Chrissy is saying, yes, plants are dramatic. Yes, they are. What plant do you think is the most dramatic? I'm gonna say tomatoes for me personally. I feel like tomatoes are the drama queens of gardens. If you have a tomato and you take it off, it's like, oh, I'm going to wilt. I can't handle this no more. I can't do it. I can't. Tomatoes, I am telling you, I look at them wrong and I'm like, what's wrong with you? What did you get? All right, I'm going to bring her back up in here. Welcome back. There we go. I got your mic unmuted. There we go.
Appreciate you. Sorry.
Isn't this software? It's kind of cool. Last night I was
It's
having
amazing.
but I was like, if you have to, because she has toddlers, you guys. So when she has, little kids, my son's homesick from school. We're going to do our parenting thing and then we'll come right back and I can hold it down. West Coast Seeds has great companion planting. Oh, okay. That's really cool, Trader. I'm going to pin you up. So if anybody wants to go check that out. Kelly, that's amazing. This is great stuff. Love seeing women younger than myself doing what I did. See, I grew up doing this and I remember just this lonely feeling that everyone that was my age wasn't doing what I do. And it was really hard for me to connect with people because people were, getting dressed up to go to the bar or do this or do that. And I was like out there watering my dramatic tomato plants and canning my own food. And then once we went through the housing recession, but then the pandemic, everybody all of a sudden was like, how do I afford to live? And so I love seeing us go back to our basics, really dial back to where our food comes from, how to make things. You don't have to buy from a box store. We can do bigger things.
And let's be realistic. If I can do it, you can do it. Seriously, if I can do it, you can do it. And that's my main thing. I just want to encourage others to get uncomfortable and try it. And I mean, worst comes to worst, we fail and we get back up on that saddle and we go.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know how people don't prepare, like even seeing these storms that came through. Some areas in Mississippi just barely got water back, barely got power back. They've been without power for a week. One of our followers over on TikTok, his name's Gene. He's been without power for 9 days. He's like, I prepped my whole life. There's no issues right now. I'm thriving. Why don't we all want to thrive?
Yep. Yep. And it doesn't, the world, you don't have to be thinking, long term, like, oh, there's going to be some huge thing. It could just be simple, a winter storm. It could be, unfortunately, the power was over. It was too much. And we lost I don't know what they're called. A transformer and power is going to be down for a week. It could just be simple things of, planning for, just everyday life stuff.
Mm-hmm. And you can grow things and all kinds of things that people consider trash. Going to the Goodwill, going to the Salvation Army, finding containers at a lot cheaper cost. You can find mason jars there. My recommend is you do this. Don't mind my coffee cup. I kind of drool on it. But you just go around, you're feeling for any nicks, edges, anything that has any damage, looking for some hairline fractures, those kind of things. And then you get jars for a lot cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Yep. The government, people believe that the government's going to protect them. In the chat, how many of you guys think that the government's going to come save you? If you do, I'm not the right person you should follow.
I mean, in my opinion, it will be always us versus them in any scenario. And, people are wild. People are wild. And when, you can't predict what they're going to do, but you can predict what you are going to do. And I rather know that my household and I can hold down the fort here. And, and I'll go out hurrah and trying,
Yep. People, yeah, you had never had any idea that people grew their own food until about 2010-ish. A lot of people don't realize that. And it is
Victoria Gardens were such a big deal before World War II. Pick up a history book and read about Victoria Gardens. They were so beautiful. I didn't know what they were until
garden.
Yeah, until I found you and I'm like, I got to see these gardens. And my God, they were beautiful. Beautiful.
My grandpa was born in 1910, and they grew up with no grocery stores, no nothing. And so before Victory Gardens were big, he always had a garden. And the thing that he told me when I was really little, he used to take me on walks. I'd walk and hold his hand, and we would walk around American Fork, Utah. We sold the house there. Y'all can go search. I don't care. But he would take me on these walks, and the houses were built in the 1800s. And he was like, "Do you see this?" And I was like, "What?" And in a way, it was brainwashing, but it was a good brainwash because he was like, "Do you see that person with a green front yard?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "They're the elite. They're the elite." He
Yep.
goes he goes, "Now we have a grass in our front yard, but we never had that before because now we are well off. But our entire backyard is a garden." And he was like, "My entire life, you can tell who is growing food for them to actually eat." And gardens in the front yard used to be very common. Now they're frowned upon. People stick their nose
Yeah.
down. Why are
I,
we
I
controlling the way your front yard looks?
Yep, there's regulations on it too. You can't plant this. You can't have right rock. You can't have, yeah, it blows my mind. And
Mhm.
like the cool thing about this house, like I said, we just got out here 2 months ago and I found a hand pump downstairs in my basement. I
No,
mean, yes, an
that's
old
a
school
nice one. Nice
mm,
hand pump. Let's go.
hand pump.
Do
Yeah,
you have a
like,
well on your property?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yep, that was really important too. I mean, look at water source when you're buying something, water source, the layout. Are you on a hill? We have a creek behind us that's spread spring fed, and that was important too. I mean, just something that animals or I could bathe in, or I know it's ridiculous, but you got to think something
Yeah,
might happen,
I'm not
you know.
judging.
But those are the things that were going through my mind. You really, in the long run, you want something that's going to make you happy. You don't want to move on to a property where you can't have lilacs in your
Mhm.
front yard if you want. You don't want to move somewhere where you can't put black rock out or lava
Yep.
rock. I mean, that's not for me. And if you
Well,
like
that's
that,
what happened.
to each to your own, but homegirl likes her.
Yeah, like, that's what happened here, though, so we've never had any problems, and all of a sudden, the town we live in Utah became a highly sought after town. We're a rodeo town, just a little rodeo town. We don't even have a restaurant you can sit down and eat at, okay? And all of a sudden, all of the government officials here and the building commission started handing out literally parcel after parcel. So we had commercial builders coming in, stacking things up. All of a sudden, now we have apartment buildings. We don't have restaurants, but we have apartment buildings. What is happening? And everyone that lives in this area that's had their farms here for over 100 years is leaving. Everyone, including us, are leaving. They're telling us, somebody tried to put into a law if a horse poops on the road. Now, mind you, we are a rodeo town, guys. There is a lot of horses here that we should be fined. All of a sudden, we're getting citations over front yards. Everyone is. Everyone is. There's another fellow here that has ducks, and his ducks are in his front yard. He has a front yard pond. He has a farm. They're trying to give him noise complaints. They're trying to do all these things. So everyone here, we're all like, we gotta go. We gotta leave. I got a notice, and they were like, there's weeds growing in our front yard. It's rhubarb. That's a plant. Rhubarb? What do you mean you're mad about my rhubarb? You're already mad about my ducks, my chicken. Now some of my plants come back year after year. There's nowhere else for us to be.
Yeah. And that's, another reason why we looked so hard. We spent years trying to find something out in the country,
Mhm.
something affordable, something worth it. And, the market's not easy, not at all. But, when we finally, we've been talking about this since me and my husband's got together, and that was 8 years ago.
Yep.
It took, and I've done it all in town. It was challenging. And then
Mhm.
you have to ducks and then chickens, and they make noises, and then the next thing you know, you got a rooster, and you're not supposed to have a rooster in town. It's somebody going to call me in, and my over the
Yep.
number like is just it's tricky. I'm not going to lie, it's tricky, but it is doable, y'all. It is
Yeah.
doable.
And we thought we had a little bit more time as things built up. we were like, okay, well, we'll start the process to start moving. It's getting too busy, it's too congested, and then all of a sudden it was like, we're angry about this, we're angry about this. Um, our neighborhood has become very California, and where everybody who I used to can and grow food with, they've all moved out because they were done. They were done. And then we have people who are just I don't even know how to describe it. It's stressful, where all of a sudden you don't feel like your home is your home anymore. I'm like, I've had chickens for 10 years here, never had a problem. Never. And all of a sudden it's, I can't believe you did this. And I'm like, whoa, 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 what did I do? What did I do?
And it's
Like,
so crazy. It's not normal anymore. It used to be so normal. And it only took 2.5 generations for it not to be normal anymore.
mhm.
That's the sad part. Like 2.5 generations, and you think about it, it's not that many. It's not that many.
No, no.
No,
And
it's not.
people, you'll get the people who are like clutching their pearls and they're like, you're gonna die of botulism. I can't believe you're doing that. And I'm like, but your Mima did it. Why
Mhm.
do you yell at her like that? Because I think I might smack your mouth if you yell at your Mima like that. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's sad, and people complicate canning way more than what they need to. Just figure out how much your mass weight is, and figure out your math of how long you need to have it in there. And it's so simple, y'all. It is so
Mhm.
simple.
It is.
And
It
it
is.
tastes so much better. How like my favorite thing is showing up at Christmas and be like, here's my cranberry sauce.
Right? Like,
Yeah,
I don't eat like cranberry sauce from the store, right? And so like
yeah,
I make my own from scratch, but this year I was like, you know what? Let's see if I can can that one for the rest of the year. Who doesn't want some cranberry sauce during Easter? Come on.
yeah, yeah.
And I
And it's
figured out a
fresh.
really good recipe and I was like, all right, that one's a keeper. That one's a keeper.
Yeah, and it's fun too. And say your family doesn't like it, it's not a thing. Get your cottage license or go to your farmer's market
Mhm.
market where you don't need your cottage license. Like you can capitalize on your home goods too, y'all. I mean,
Mhm.
if there's a will, there's a way.
Yep. And you can live well below your means. You do
Oh yeah.
not have to be doing this with millions of dollars. I'm so tired of people making it feel like you can only do it if it's a perfect setup. Y'all gonna see me cry out at that property. You gonna see me mad and pissed off building something. I've been working on fencing on the backside. I'm irritated. I got a twitch in my eye. I'm like, if I cut myself one more damn time, like it's good
It's
though.
But it builds character. It
Hmm.
builds such good character, and especially for your kids. You want your kids to be respectful, have manners, know good worth
Hmm.
ethic. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't mean to be this person, but this generation, I'm worried.
Yeah.
There's too many soft souls out there, and you know, what's the saying? Good times create soft men, and
Hmm.
bad times create hard men. And we'll see what this next generation brings.
Yep. And good times do create soft men and soft women,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I
Not
hear
to,
people even on social media, and I'm sure you feel it too, because we both live stream full time. I guarantee you've seen people whose feelings are hurt, but you just talk
Mhm.
about hard work. Well, you should do
Yeah.
it this way. You should do it this way. You should do it this. You want to come do it for me?
Yep.
You want
Or,
to?
oh, that's not true. You didn't do that. You didn't spend that much on that. No, that costs more. No, it does not. And I'm like, I'm so sorry that that's how it
Hmm.
is for you. But this is what it is for me. And, and that's okay. It is okay. But don't come at me because that's not how it works for you. I can't. This is my experience. This is my life. And this is me sharing what works for me and how I got here.
Yep. It's a hard one. Ooh, Duck Rooster said, so Chrissy just said, I cover my garden with cardboard, use cow manure for my cows, and seed save, and it doesn't cost much of any money, right?
Yep.
And then
Just
Duck
10-15 minutes of your time.
mhm. Hello, Teresa, welcome in. Duck Rooster said, my son's girlfriend got upset with me last night because I used my beans I canned for our chili last night. She wanted me to go to the store and buy beans. Why do they think The metal containers are safer than what comes in glass. What? Who brainwashed our society? I have questions. What is appealing about eating out of a silver can? Do you see it? I don't see it. I don't understand.
And well, not even that. I'm sorry. Didn't Campbell's just say outright that he wouldn't even eat his own food? And you want me to go buy that and put that in my kid or me? I know I'm already doomed, but I can try my hardest for this
Mhm.
future generation to not
Right.
have those problems.
Yep. I mean, he said it's genetically modified and bioengineered meat. But when I can, hold on. I'm
So I'm
gonna
eating ink. I'm eating printer ink.
I'm gonna go grab both of them. I'm gonna have you host for a minute if that's cool with you. I'm gonna
Yes.
drop myself down really.
But yeah, guys, like read your labels. It's quite scary. And when you get your seeds, you want to make sure that they're non-GMO and that they're heirloom. Sorry, I do have a speech impediment. I'll stutter a little bit. But spend some research, and your local libraries, sometimes have a seed hold. Your food banks. You could really, do it yourself. It's crazy what they have out there, and it's really disgusting, if you really want me to be honest. And then also with your meat too, I don't truly know what's in it anymore. Not at all. I don't know what's in it at all, and that's a scary thought. I mean, I don't know if it bothers you, and the fact that they've been on the shelf for 5-6 weeks and they're pumped full of this gas to make it look red and beautiful, and it's really not what you think it is. And most of those animals aren't fed what you think they're fed. I don't, we've all done our own research, and those videos came out with them eating cement and straw and paper, and we're consuming that. Doesn't that bother you? It bothers me. I don't want that.
Mhm. All right, so here we go. All right, we have cream of chicken soup from Campbell's. Watch me get sued. All right. Contains bioengineered food ingredients. The ingredients from canola, corn, and soy in this product come from genetically modified crops. Okay. But let's go to the next one. Cream of mushroom soup contains bioengineered food ingredients. Ingredients from canola, corn, and soy in this product come from genetically modified crops also. Here's cream of mushroom soup. This is safe according to the government and the FDA. You can go and eat this. This is safe. This is a safe canning recipe. But this is my cream of mushroom soup, and this is not safe. I'm pretty sure that looks pretty damn tasty right there.
It looks very yummy.
I got extra mushrooms. I like it a little chunky. I can shake it up. Look at that. That is a perfect little gravy going on in there.
Yeah,
Why
and if
is
you don't want
this?
to do gravy, if you're not comfortable with that, you can do the powder form. Make it the powder form, and then you're adding in your milk or your water, and throw in some fresh mushrooms or your chicken. I mean, that's the lovely thing about canning. You got the dry form, you got the liquid form, and you got the frozen form. There's multiple ways to preserve it.
Yep. And this is amazing, right? But this is when the pearl clutchers go, oh my God, but that's not an FDA recommended. You know what? You know what also the FDA recommend? Y'all go get a shot. You sit 6 feet away from each other. Also, they want you to eat bioengineer printed damn meat and genetically modified crops. I don't think I trust a damn thing the government's saying right now. I hate to say it that way. Me and her are both a little bit spicy. I think that's why I brought her on, because she can handle it too. Like, she don't get like, we gotta be
It's
formal.
disgusting, and we're supposed to believe them. It's really disgusting, and I hate to be this person, but your health, the mental illness, the confusion, the I can't sleep, the
Higher cases of
ADD,
dementia.
yes, your blood pressure, heart disease, like if y'all, the facts are right there. The science is in front of your face, and what you're eating is what's causing this problem. And we need to go back to the 1800s. We need to grow our own food. We need to raise it, and we need to tell them no more. Like, we really do. We need to stand up to it. If not, think about your grandbabies,
We
y'all.
need to
Do
say
you
fuck
want
the
them eating
system,
much from
guys.
the
I'm
bag?
sorry. We gotta say it. We gotta say, no, down with this. We're done. We're done.
Yeah,
We have to
it's
put our foot
it's
down.
stop buying it. That's the best thing that you can do is just stop buying it. Everybody's money hungry and they're going to follow that money. And when the money stops flowing in, they're going to be like, what happened?
Mhm.
And maybe they'll make the change. I
And the
hope they
government
make the
doesn't
change.
care if they poison your kids. They don't
Right.
care because then they can keep them on the system and in the hospitals and with the doctors and with big pharma for as long as
And they
they can.
keep you in debt. And it keeps you in debt. Each
Mhm.
American society, each family is one emergency medical bill away from being into debt.
Yep.
One.
Yep.
I would rather fight my odds and knowing that I'm doing everything I can to be as healthy as I can and ensure that, I'm not going to the doctors.
Yep.
There's apothecary, there's, your herbs are your best friend. Learn a
Yep.
little bit about medicinal medicine. Like,
Mhm.
it worked for
Exactly.
many, many years. And I'm not saying that modern medicine isn't needed, but there's a certain point where you should think that and think the other.
Yep. Teresa, I want to say a big shout out to Teresa in the chat. Thank you so much for gifting 5 Doomsday Queen memberships to everyone. That is absolutely amazing. And if you guys do have a membership in here, you might notice that there is a bunch of new emotes.
You have such a fantastic fan base.
Oh, thanks. They're really
You're
cool. They're
welcome.
my best friends. They're pretty cool. They do have Teresa as a mod. I was like, I got to make sure she's marked as a mod. It's hard when I run it on this one, but there's civil unrest. There's all these things. We see all these emotes going on, you know what I mean? And they're based off of real life. Right now, okay, so I know you homeschool and I've been dabbling towards it. Right now, I'm just truly trying to get my kids out to like a 1A school at this point. Just because I don't know if I have the energy to do all three. I would love to. I'm aspiring to it, but with how busy life has been,
So your kids are a lot older than mine. There's co-ops, there's online
mhm,
schooling. There's, say that they can self-teach them how to read and
mhm.
concept that way. It's
There's amazing things. And that's
there's
what we've been
amazing.
researching.
Yeah, there's so many ways, and there's a lot of families out there that are so on board on helping,
Mhm.
and the homesteading community has been so amazing to me.
Well, I feel like here we're going to see a very big increase on homeschooling. So my daughter just experienced hate last night. Why is it that they're talking about politics in middle school? Here in Utah, it's been all over the news. Middle school walking out, high schools walking out in protest, all of this crazy stuff. And I'm like, do we all not realize that there is a lot of tear gas and stuff being used at protests right now? Like, why are we encouraging small children? It's giving me just the
Well,
ick.
I mean, if you do your research, not to, but read who made schools and read his method and what his goals were with making schools, and it's going to tell you their main purpose right then and there. I
Mhm.
mean,
Kelly
it,
says, "Do any of you guys share recipes?" We do. We do them live. And then also on here on YouTube, I post short form content. If you go into my YouTube shorts, they're all recipes. And then also I have a Discord you can join that has a ton of recipes in it where everybody just kind of willingly just shares their recipes because prepping should not be gate kept.
nope. We're all here to exceed. We want you to do this.
Yep. We want you to do this. I don't think that you should pay a fee to access blah, 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 or a PDF of blah, 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 an email list of blah, blah, blah. Would I like to get to that point at some point? Yeah, that would probably help me build the property a little bit faster, but I don't think it should be gate kept.
No.
Mm-mm. Chrissy beat you to it. Yeah, they're dropping the Discord in. And if you guys make sure that you guys give M a follow. She is building up her YouTube, you know, a little backstory of why we're all transferring over. TikTok did us dirty. They did us dirty, man. They did us dirty. And we don't want to whine or gripe about it, but the content that we produce is top tier. Building from nothing, starting from the beginning, getting to the results you're looking for. It doesn't happen overnight.
And I'll be honest, her editing is a lot better than mine, but I will get there. I'll get there.
You'll get there, but my editing is not good. I will say that. My editing is not good. Mars Planet says, we have 52 people in here and only 40 thumbs up. Make sure you guys give a thumbs up in here. On all of your YouTube accounts. Billy D, how many YouTube accounts you got going on? I know. I told her, I was like, we got to just make our transition over because right now we've lost our freedom of speech over on TikTok. We've lost our freedom of speech. Things that me and her talk about, canning, growing, prepping, current world affairs, things that are happening in society and the risks will get us banned. We will lose everything. So we've decided to go somewhere that we're a little bit safer, where we can have a conversation.
Yeah, I got restricted this morning because I've told people you got to get uncomfortable if you're gonna, make it. You got to get uncomfortable. You're not gonna be resourceful unless you're uncomfortable. And I got a violation.
You got a violation? What was the violation?
Bullying. I was being a bully. And I'm pretty sweet. I'll be honest. Like, unless you disrespect my marriage, I'm pretty easy to get along
She's
with.
the nice one, you guys. Like, she's the nice one. I'm the spicy one. I've told people to kick rocks to their face. She's the nice one. Oh, that's warning. Billy D says all three. You have 3 YouTube accounts? That's amazing. Like, Sweet Em, she's the nice one. I'm the more brutal, a brusque. I'm a little thorny around the edges. And, if you like my thorns, then we're good. You only have freedom of speech in public. TikTok is not public. It is private server. You do not have freedom of speech. Well, thank you for the notice. I've been there for 5 years and I make a full-time income there. And now we are being censored left and right. So tell me how it is a chick can literally bounce up and down in a bikini and talk about the weirdest shit ever. But if we talk about gardening, we get flagged for bullying.
Yep. Or canning.
Right, canning. I got misinformation and bullying when I was canning. And I was like,
make it make sense. But anywho, it's better over here. It's better over here. More freedom. I can actually, go through the whole process and not have to sensitize. And, you get the real, you get the raw, you get it all.
It's a grenade. It's a granada. The world is upside down and we should be able to talk about things. There is no reason to gatekeep things, but when it's certain apps and you have certain things, and when we've been there for so long and we see such a dramatic, my entire For You page is actually considered what's against community guidelines. They're encouraging civil unrest. They are showing tear gas. They are showing protests. It is literally like, it is brainwashing. Not only
brainwashing. The brainwashing is so bad. I mean, and it's one directive. They want to push their narrative. And yeah, like you said, the freedom's gone. It's gone.
It's gone. And we can have, I'll send it to you, Mike. I'll send it to you in an email. But yeah, it's a hard pill for people to swallow because you do have a right to talk. You do. You do have a right to teach these things or show these things. And when you're all said and not able to have a conversation, when I'm watching my 12-year-old daughter and her entire middle school having group text messages, people are calling each other bigots, this and that, and they are talking about ICE like it is something that they know everything about. And I was like, what is happening? She goes, oh, every middle school is protesting and walking out. I said, you're going to sit your ass down and you're going to get an education. When you're 18 and you want to go to a protest, then that is your God-given right to go. But as a child, if you walk out of that damn school and you do not understand the risks that are happening within protests, that there is violence that is occurring, that there is people who are literally targeting each other because we are getting to the point of civil unrest and civil war. I was like, you do that? And she's like, my friend called me a bigot because I'm not allowed to go protest. And I was like, I don't give a crap. You're going to sit your butt down and you're going to do your work. Mind you, she's in 8th grade. She is in all advanced placement classes. She starts her associate's degree in college credits next year. I ain't got time for that. She ain't got time for that. She can make an educated decision when she can recite back to the Constitution to me in full form. She
I
can go
like
out
that one.
there and do whatever she wants. And she also has to be able to grow adult eyebrows like an adult.
Oh, I love
I
that.
can't grow. I dye mine, guys. They're red. I'm a redhead. They're blonde. I don't like that they're pushing it in middle schools. I believe in government class in high school, you should have some of that stuff pushed at you from both perspectives, right? We need to
Yes.
know everything on all perspectives. I had a really great government teacher that would show it from all different sides when it came
But
down
it's
to
super
elections.
hard to find a teacher like that. It's
No,
especially
I
now,
know.
it's super hard to find a history teacher that is going to play both parties.
Mhm.
And you know, and it's really, but personally, I think it's critical on how that child is going to develop their frame of mind for the government and what they're going to vote for in that. And if you're not going to play the both parties, then I don't think you should be a history teacher.
And honestly, I don't even agree with like Jessica said ninth to 12th grade only. I don't think in ninth grade is 14, 15-year-olds. I think when you are about to approach the age of voting, then we need to have real conversations of like, this is what this party goes for, this is what this goes for, this is where your mayors are, this is what your building commission does. These are the things, right? All the stepping stones that go up to just even your governor. That's when those conversations need to happen. They don't need to happen when you're 15. They don't, they're little. And, seeing 7th graders and
Well,
8th graders walking up and down the
let's
street.
let's play real life. I'm sorry, I'm going to challenge
Go for
you.
it, do it.
Let's play real life. It's because, poverty, being poor and all that. A lot of us grow up before we have to. A lot of us are
Mhm.
out of the home by 16, 17, living on our own, working a full-time job.
That's what I
Yes.
was, 17,
And,
emancipated.
and at that point, you being youthful is amazing. You're curious, you're wondering, you want answers, and you're demanding it. And I feel like if you're not going to give that at that age, look at Nick. I was sorry, I don't know his last name, but look at Nick. He's like a 21-year-old kid, and he was like, "There's fraud going on, guys.
Yeah,
Let's look. Let's see what's this about." And I don't think he would have gotten there if he wasn't, he's because he
curious.
started when he was really young, and so so there's my debate with that. I think a 16-year-old is a healthy age to get into and ask me
Yeah.
questions. And
When I think ninth grade, I think 14. I was 14. I graduated at 17 and moved out at 17. So I guess, yeah, that 15, 16, 16 is probably a good age that they start
Mhm.
questioning and start really understanding things. But we also don't need opinions shoved down their throats, right?
Yes,
We
like do the
need to take
basics.
a very natural way of like, okay, here's a history book. Let's look at this. Not, well, this is what I think, and this man's bad, or blah, 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 blah. Like, I remember my kids were in elementary school during the elections, and somebody was like, "Who's your parents voting for?" And my kids were like, I don't know." Like, because first of all, they shouldn't be really into politics at this age yet. And somebody goes, "Well, if your parents vote for this person, I'm never talking to you again." I'm like, "Why are you talking to your 3rd grader like that?
Well,
Why are we
and in
civil
my
again?"
household, it was disrespectful to ask. You did not ask. It was disrespectful and considered rude. And um, I don't know, maybe that's a Nebraska thing. Maybe my
Mhm.
folks were just a little bit old school, but there's more than what we can bring to the table than a conversation like that. I'm more on a deeper level than who you voted for, and that's not going to change my heart about you. I want to
Yeah.
know your character, and I feel like we've gotten so separated of
I wanna know
actually,
if you trust the government. That's what I wanna know. Like, do
yeah,
you trust the government? Can we be friends? Maybe.
yes, yeah, and then that's about
Yep.
it.
It is. It is really it's a hard one for people to swallow, and we're seeing here, like, all the towns down through the valley, they had middle schoolers, elementary schools in the front of the schools, everything doing these protests, and I was like, "Why are we doing this? Why are we encouraging that?" She'll be right back, guys. 1 second. We got little kids running around, but I have questions. Why is this becoming appropriate? Why aren't we focusing on the economy and where things are at right now? Why are we pushing to a different level, you know? why do we have kids out protesting, but we're not talking about oh, my volume is low? Hold on. Did I hit it? Can you hear me now? Are you guys good? Do you guys hear me now? You can hear the guest. Oh, no. Hold on. I'm putting you back up, Em.
Is that better?
Yeah, I think I was having audio. Yeah, you're totally good.
Okay.
It's all good? Is my audio good for everybody else? Sometimes when I move back, my mic is over here. It's stationary. Teresa says, all good. You can hear us both. Okay, perfect. You guys definitely should go over, give her a follow on her channel. She is showing all the things, developing her homestead from scratch. Y'all, I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm watching her. I'm like, oh, you found cement? What are we doing? What can I do? What is a new idea? We thrive as a community because we start from scratch. This is a new adventure for everybody. Just because we did other stuff in a different location doesn't mean that the new stuff isn't going to be challenging.
Yep. Trial and
Okay.
error.
So it's also in the description on this live, and I'm also dropping it in the comment section. It is Sweet Em Acreage. They want kids out protesting that are struggling to even read and write. You know what? The one thing is where I feel that Mars Planet on there. They want kids out protesting. But here's the thing. I cannot remember for the life of me what historical event it was. It was a different country. What country was it? I'm sure somebody else is going to know what I'm talking about. There was a country that teachers were encouraging their children to go out and protest, and then they were literally, like, mowed down in the street. I can't remember what it was, and I feel like it was in the 90s that
Man, I
they had
have no.
children at protests and there was a bunch of fatalities. I have been trying to research it up because I would watch the news with my grandpa, like, every single night, and I remember hearing about this. I know it wasn't in the US, but I haven't figured it out where, and I'm like, wouldn't that be such a ploy to put your children out there while there's protests going on? First of all, I'm gonna tell you right now, you take your child to a protest, I am going to judge you on a different level as a mother. Don't bring
Yeah.
your children.
Yeah. I mean, my main goal, like I said, I'm gonna stock up and make sure I'm good here and keeping my family safe as I possibly can, no matter what the circumstances are, you know?
Yep. That's what our job is, right? We protect. It's our first line of defense is our home. We protect, we prep, and we mind our business, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because we
Yes.
know that it's gonna get worse. We've already predicted it. Look at
I mean,
Iran right now. They're pushing war. Are we gonna end up in war? I don't know. Are we going to see different cost increases happen? Possibility.
absolutely.
I think this year we are going to see more heightened prices in groceries. I'm
It's
not sure, country.
the market where we ended up with corn last year at the stock price. It's devastating. Our farmers are hurting, and I see it firsthand. Like I said, I'm in Nebraska. You got Nebraska, you got Iowa, you got Kansas. Like this is corn, bean, all that central, and the calves. Like we're hurting over here. Farmers are selling land, putting equipment up. Like it's scary, y'all. And it's gonna get rough. And I don't mean to be, that person that, puts fear in you, but it's rough down here, and it's only
Mhm.
gonna spread more.
Yep, and it's gonna continue to get worse, and I see this recession. I'm calling it a depression. I'm gonna call it what it is. I think we are in a worldwide depression with all the exporting and importing, not being able to any country be sufficient in anything. Everybody is struggling. The dollar is not a dollar. The dollar tomorrow will definitely not be the dollar of today. And I think people are like living in a blanketed amount of debt, and we are about to start seeing foreclosures. We're about to start seeing collapsing because I don't know who you are. Like, I can't afford groceries that way. I can't. Like, going in for 2 days of groceries because I need to replace some stuff at the camper, and I didn't have everything that I do here on a regular basis. I'm telling you, this saves money. The startup cost, yeah, sure, 100%. Some of these jars I've been using for 20 years, 30 years. No big deal.
Taxes wise, we got our taxes back. And my lady, she's amazing. She is amazing. And like I said, I was in town last year doing my garden. Okay, the plot was the size of my kitchen here. Okay, so I saved us $2,300 and some odd cents.
Nice.
Kenny, that's my juices, jelly, jams, meats, beans, soups. It's you get crazy. I made my ketchup, barbecue sauce, my tallow. I made my own beef broth, chicken broth. I mean, I cook
I
everything
can't
from
afford the
scratch.
grocery store. I
Yeah,
can't
I
afford the
can't. You're spending $3-4 on bread when I can make it at home for less than $1. Like it's just your best friend. When you homestead, I'm not recommending your kitchen's going to be your best friend. Get to know your kitchen. Get to know your recipes, your measurements, how baking soda reacts when you bake, and baking soda. What's the difference? Your kitchen's going to literally save you so much money.
Yep.
So much money.
Yep. It saves you money. It saves you time. I've had people time and time again say, well, what the ingredients you buy, when I buy in bulk, right? Flour, wheat berries, all these things. They're like, that costs so much money. And I was like, I can't afford what you do at the grocery store. I can't physically afford. This year I've made a new goal of like, how much more can I have on my shelves? How much more can I do? And I've had to prioritize my time with content because going to the grocery store, it makes me sick to my stomach. I do not shop fresh produce. Y'all, that diet community got you guys blind. Blind. Just know your kitchen will never be pristine again. Yeah, you millennial minimalists, y'all screwed if you become homesteaders because your stovetop will be dirty all the
You're
time.
talking about me.
Are you a minimalist?
Well, yeah. I didn't get internet. I didn't have internet for like 6 years. I have
Not
one
that kind
TV.
of minimal. Like I'm
Like
talking like
I
the
lived in a camper.
aesthetically. You
Yep,
know what I'm talking.
I lived in a camper. I didn't before we had the kids and two rowdy toddlers in a camper. I lost my mind. It is not for the weak. So I needed a home. I needed a home.
You're like, I needed a home and I needed it bad. What I mean is like the marble kitchen, the
Oh,
perfectly clean, the huge that's the people I'm talking to is y'all, if you go into the homesteading, your kitchen's gonna get dirty. You gonna spill something. There's gonna be fingerprints, there's gonna be powder everywhere. And I mean flour, not the slopes, okay? Not the slopes. Just kidding. Are you good?
yeah. My husband thought I lost myself.
He thought he thought you
He thought
lost
I lost
yourself.
myself. Yeah, he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm
Are
good."
you are you good? Are you alive?
Yeah.
But I can't afford what's at the grocery store. Like when we go in, I think that the diet community, like we just entered into a new year, right? Everyone wants a new body, a new me, a new this. Buy, buy, buy. Sign up for memberships. Do it. Do it. Do all the things. And they don't realize that when you're walking around that edge of that store where all that green is, right? And your meats, how overpriced things are. Buy it when it's on sale, freeze it. You can store stuff for frozen for a very long time. It doesn't go bad in your freezer.
No, nope. I mean, and then like you can use your dehydrators, y'all. You get fruit on sale, dehydrate it, rehydrate it. You can do so much with it, so much. Um, my freeze dry your apples. We get apples on sale, and then we freeze dry them. Best little snacks with some Nutella. Like these are bomb.
Right? We do. Do you have a freeze dryer too?
Well, we went in as a unit with my family, so 3 of us went in to get the freeze dryer because they are expensive,
They
and
are.
uh, it's so nice that I have other members of my family that are interested in gardening, and we kind of are all a little bit nutty over here, let's be honest.
It's a good
But
nut.
it helps. It helps having a community that loves to do it too. And we all went in, and I get to use it in the fall time. That's my time for it.
Yeah. I feel like that's such a great thing. I've had friends come over and use my freeze dryer. They're like, "Can I try it?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, let's do this." And I try to explain constantly when people in my real life go, "How do you save so much money on your groceries? Why are you not dependent on the grocery stores?" And I was like, "I'm a seasonal eater. So when apples are ripe, that's when we are freeze drying. That's when I'm canning. That's when I've done all the things, dehydrated, anything we can." It's very rare that you'll see me buy something that is out of season at the grocery store to have here unless I find it on sale for some weird reason. But even now, I mean, you have to watch every sticker in the grocery store because half the stuff is, you know,
Sprayed.
poison.
It's
Poison.
sprayed. Yeah, it's sprayed so bad, so
And
bad.
organic doesn't mean organic the way it used to.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
My husband's doing the same check-in.
Daisy.
He's like, "You alive?"
Oh, we gotta love those husbands.
Wait. We can do this one. Hold on. We'll give
They
proof
want
of life, chat. Proof of life. Proof of
you.
life.
Oh, you gotta
You
love
know?
them.
He could just turn on the camera system and just take a peek-see in here and be like, "Oh, yeah, I see what's
Well,
happening."
I had my stuff charging beforehand, turned it on right before, and then I came on. I'm like, oh, it's been like 3 hours.
It has been 3 hours. How's your battery doing?
I'm at 16.
16? Okay, well, we'll get ready to wrap it up. But, everyone in the chat saying, "Hi, FAFO." Yeah, I'm gonna pin you really quick.
Same for you.
They said, "I have sell apples in my freezer now waiting to make applesauce. Throw it in a crock pot." Applesauce is so easy to make, you guys.
Oh, so
So
easy.
incredibly easy to can too. You don't even have
Hmm.
to add sugar. It is
Yeah.
so good. That's my son's absolute favorite. He's home with a sore throat, and that's what he's getting for lunch is applesauce.
Applesauce. And the cool thing with applesauce, you can make it caramel, you can make it
Mhm.
cinnamon, you can put strawberries in there. So good.
Yep. One thing that I actually will not use in my freeze dryer, and I think people think I'm crazy for it, I don't run strawberries in my freeze dryer. I will buy those from companies because of how much moisture is in the seeds and how long you have to run it extra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It is a lot. I will give
It's
you that. But they are
cheaper.
so good. It's like candy. It's
Oh, I
just
have them. Number 10 containers and stuff. I buy them from other people who do it. The commercial. It's like
they're
16 bucks. I'm like, "Yeah, that's my energy bill on that loadout. So
yeah,
I'm just
it
gonna do it."
is. But yeah, your freeze dryer, work with what you got, find a friend. Friends are nice.
Yes, friends are great, especially if you can go in, you know, with somebody on freeze drying. And same with as we wrap this up, like if you want ground beef, go in with a friend. Get a quarter of a beef. I am telling you right now, if you even stop buying red meat for a month and just saved your money, you would
You
have
could do
enough
it.
for a quarter. Like it is so expensive. It made me sick to my stomach to see ground beef at like $13.
Yeah. And then you got milk at 5.50 in my area.
Mhm. It's crazy. We have Kroger here. And so Kroger has like a little end cap that is fruits and vegetables that are going bad. They're bruised, they're just not the prettiest. They're always in a little red bag. They're like 99 cents. That's where I'll snag up stuff, run it through my dehydrator so I just have it on hand so that I can just use it in whatever recipe I need to real quick. But that's what's considered bad and it's like 90 cents per bag.
Yeah.
I'm saving a ton versus I got 10 pounds of sweet potatoes in those red bags for like $4.
Yeah.
4
And
bucks.
the cool thing, the sweet potatoes, you can put it in a little bit of water and you can start growing your own sweet potatoes.
Sterno went up to $2 at the Dollar Tree. Teresa, that hurts my heart. That hurts my little baby heart. I love cinnamon too. Who in here Audie Q, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships, you guys. If you just received a gift from Teresa or Audie Q during this live, make sure you guys say thank you in the chat. They're very, very generous and very, very kind. And it's what keeps everybody going, you know, like it's just such a kind gift. It's so nice and so sweet. But I want you guys to make sure that you go over, give Sweetest M a follow. You know, if I go over there and see how many followers she has, I want to see her hitting 100. All right. We got to get her up.
I don't even know what I'm at. I don't even know.
You don't even know? Do you want me to check? Look, hold on. We're going to
it's
check.
okay.
I am going to check. We're going to check this out, you guys.
But I appreciate you guys and the follows. It really means a lot. And thank you for listening to me.
11 away from 100. 11. There's 52 of y'all in here. Go give her a follow. Dollar Tree is so overpriced now. I know. I used to do the $5 Fridays, right? That I cannot afford to do the $5 Fridays. It is almost impossible for me to even find more than a couple of items for under $5. And I feel like it will be the same items for prepping over and over. I think we're gonna have to go to $25. But if that allows people to build up a stockpile very quickly, then at least that's there. If they can set aside $25 a month.
And that's, you know, that's decent. That's doable.
Country says DQ is forcing us upon Sweetest M. Yep, I am. That is, you know, there is very few people where I'm like, they are real. Like, I mean, she kept calling it, what'd you call it this morning? 99 free. 99 free.
99 free.
Heart all the way through. She is the same way. I'm like, I see a bucket. I'm telling you, I have the same routine every day when I drop my son off at school. I drive up to the mountain. I sit and I think about the content I'm making. I take that moment, that piece. Well, there's a bunch of people who like to litter going up that way. If I find a 5-gallon bucket, it's mine. It's mine. I'm gonna get it. I find wood. You just see all kinds of random shit hanging out of my Jeep. I'm like, coming down the mountain. Okay. I am a frugal heart, and it's gonna cost a lot of money to build up my property. I'm gonna take my free junk and turn it into something good. All my potato containers that are 5-gallon buckets, found those on the side of the highway. Driving down, saw a bucket, turned around on the next exit, came back, looped, pulled over like I had a flat tire, ran out, got a bucket, got a new bucket.
Yep. That's the way to be. I may not be Better Homes or Garden or Pinterest, but I will show you the real. I'll show you the raw, and I'll show you how I save my money.
Yep. Well, it was great having you on. I'm going to end the live stream real quick. You can stay right here. I promise. We'll drop that down. But you guys are absolutely amazing. Thanks for hanging out with us on live stream today. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I hope you guys stay tuned onto the video that's going to be posting here in a few hours. All right. I'll see you later.
In the ashes of the end rises the Doomsday Queen.